Hey guys, and welcome back to the Gerbil Vine. Thank you all so much for clicking on this video, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Bex and I live in Ontario, Canada. I have two gerbils named Jerry and Dusk, and we started this channel in hopes of educating others on proper gerbil care. If you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button so that you never miss our uploads. So for today's video, I thought it would be kind of neat to show you guys what my daily interactions look like with the gerbils and the checklist that I go over for their care. So my gerbils currently reside in their 40-gallon tank, complete with a topper, and they have pretty much full control of what goes on underneath the topper. I do like when things look clean and organized, so I do clean their topper once a day, usually in the morning. The gerbils can get a bit messy with their parties that they have overnight, and you can see here why it would need some daily cleaning. So I first begin by checking the temperature of their hygrometer. If it's too high or too low, I take steps to heat up or cool down the room, but everything looks great today and I don't have to do any of that. Then I start by taking everything out, their sand, their hides, chew toys, and pieces of wood, and I shake them off and wipe them down if needed. As you can see here, their sand is quite messy from yesterday. I also remove their water bottle and water bowl, rinse them out, and refill them before putting them back. You may notice that I have these rocks in my water bowl. I have them in there just for depth so that the gerbils can see the bottom. I don't actually know if this makes a difference for them, as they seem to use it either way, but if you do add in stones, just make sure that they are big enough that they can't eat them. When I rinse out their bowl, I just put a face cloth in the sink so none of the rocks slip down the drain, and I fill it back up with cold water. Next, I take my small broom and just sweep up the area, getting all the little poops and sand grains and whatever else is on there. And then I wipe down the topper. They also like to poop in the very hard to reach corner behind the wheel, so I make sure I get everything before wiping it down. I use unscented baby wipes for this. I find them to be completely safe and they do the job just as well as any harsh cleaner. I don't do this every day, but sometimes I take off the topper and fluff up the bedding a bit just to kind of move it around a little bit, check things out, and just kind of see what's going on under the surface. The gerbils do like to poop on their wheel platform, so I just sweep up those poops and throw them out. Then I fluff up their bedding, as sometimes their poop can sit on top of it, and it can kind of get like a bit of a stale smell, especially if they've already made established burrows. My boys have been in this tank for a little over a month without doing a clean, so their burrows are pretty established at this point. Depending on what day it is, as I do feed my gerbils every other day so that they don't hoard or store food, I will add in their food. Today happens to be the day where they don't get food, so I'm just going to throw in some hay for them with a couple of treats added in. If I see my gerbils at this time, it's great, as I believe interacting daily with your gerbils is very important in building and maintaining trust. At this time, I also check their amount of chew toys and see if they need any new ones. As you can see here, they still have quite a few. And while it's true that gerbils need to constantly have access to things to chew on, I have found that my boys aren't as aggressive with chewing now as they were in like their first year. They have chilled out much more now, but don't get it twisted, they still love their cardboard. So after all of this, I begin wiping down their wheel, as I don't know about your gerbils, but even though my gerbils mainly use their sand as a potty, they still pee a little bit in their wheel. So this way everything is clean and smells fresh and is sanitary for them. It's very important to wipe down the wheels because your gerbils can get an infection if they are running on urine, especially if it's for a long period of time. My gerbils and I have our routine, and they're quite confident now in the sense that they recognize me and they don't thump or dart away, but are actually a bit more curious in what's going on and why my hands are in their tank, and I love that. I try to spend a minimum of 20 minutes per day hanging out with the gerbils, not just cleaning, but actually talking to them, feeding them treats, and having my hands in their tank. Then I begin to sift through their sand. I usually do this morning and night, but I was extra tired last night and skipped this, which is the reason for all the extra poops. It is generally noted that gerbils do not go to the bathroom as much as other rodents, but in my opinion, they still accumulate quite a bit of waste. It is summer, so it's a given that they drink more water. If their sand still smells fresh and clean, I just put it back in and then add in the rest of their topper items. If their sand is dirty, you'll know it needs to be replaced when it smells a bit more like urine than it does like actual sand. Other than cleaning, bonding, and feeding, there isn't actually a ton of daily maintenance or things that you have to do with your gerbils. I have found that since their home is larger, part of that being due to the fact that I'm using a topper now, I have found that they aren't half as messy as they previously were. Of course, not everyone has a topper or the means to make or buy a topper, and I can remember the days of having to separate all of the bedding from the sand and to reinforce the divider, trying to keep the wheel free of bedding, and I feel so blessed that those days are over. My tank and my tank topper allows me to have more organizational control over the gerbils, which is exactly what I wanted. I have found that my gerbils are more self-sufficient now. They really don't need me to go in there and do too much. They've got the bottom covered and I handle the top, and so far the gerbils and I make a really great team. So thank you all so much for watching. If you feel like sharing, drop a comment down below and let us know what your daily gerbil routine looks like. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you never miss our uploads. Thank you. Bye.